All right, everybody. Hi, Lord Tamerlane here with another Obscurity in Miniature. We got a new game with us today in the mail, Brutality. Brutality is a 2-on-2 or team player versus player medieval arena combat game, kind of along the lines of Gore Chosen would be at least the first game that comes to my mind. But anyway, I've got one of the character packs here today. I got everything in the mail, and I'm going to take a look one by one through these because that's just how I am and what I like to do. Because after all, we're here looking at obscurities in miniature, not just obscurities in cardboard and plastic. So, inside the box we have the Plague Baron and Mary the Brutal. So you've got their basic abilities here, and their special traits, and their life meters along the bottom. Characters do have different life stats, so keep that in mind. And the real attraction, the figures themselves. So the figures for Brutality are kind of a bold decision. They're a lot bigger than their competitors. And Mary seems to have one arm because one arm decided to come off. That's not good, but you know what? Actually, it's not a big deal because I'm going to paint these anyways, and that's an easy fix. I guess if you're a dedicated board gamer versus a hobbyist, that might be an issue, and you might want to contact the designers, but I'm not worried. So let's take a look at the bases. That's one thing I really was intrigued about. So each character's base is actually the size of one square in the actual arena, and the arena itself is a double-sided board, as you've probably seen in unboxing videos already. What's interesting is you have these characters with extra large double-sided bases, and they take up 2 spaces on the board, which makes things a lot more tactical in terms of movement and position than it does in games like Gore Chosen, where everybody's just in one square, yelling at each other and rolling dice. So I did make sure to grab a handy-dandy tape measure, courtesy of Cult of the Burning Man, from the other side. So looks like, if I can get things straightened out, close to about 60 millimeters or so for Mary, and our Plague Baron is clocking in around 70 or so. So that puts them obviously at a much larger scale than other models that you may have in your collection, be it GW, Warhammer 40,000, or Age of Sigmar figures, or Shadespire figures, or, I don't know, closest comparison I could think of was a Demon Prince from GW. Malifaux's obviously going to be a lot smaller. Radwarnstein from Dark Souls, kind of similar, but even he's a little bit dwarfed by the Plague Baron and Mary here. Details on the models themselves are quite nice, but you know, that is one advantage of such a large scale. One major disadvantage of having everything obviously pre-built is that it's going to be a major pain if you don't want to disassemble everything to try to get into all those little nooks and crannies and crevices to actually get the paint on him. I do like all of his little rat friends hanging out on the base. It's a nice touch. Going to be kind of difficult to get in there, though. More than likely, I'm just going to have to completely disassemble the figures if I really want to do the paint jobs. These figures deserve justice. I mean, they're very well detailed, very well sculpted, and the style really matches the artwork on the cards. That was something that when the Kickstarter was going for this game, I was quite concerned that were they going to be able to actually match it, and I feel like they did. I feel like the figures themselves really match up to the artwork. Most of the actual, you can see like all the bones and stuff in his bag there pretty much came over on a one-to-one basis. So quite cool. Pose is a little bit different based on the artwork, but I think this works out fine. So that is the Plague Baron, and with our friend Mary. Again, the first time I saw her, I thought she was supposed to be a dwarf. She seems very dwarf-like in her proportions, but she is anything but. She's just as tall as our Plague Baron friend. So you can see her sword is a little bit warped there. I don't know if that's going to be a major issue for most people, but you know, that's easily fixed with a little bit of reheating. You can see the details on the armor. We've got a bear motif going on. I really feel like, I guess, for a northern gal, it fits. Still feel like she should be a dwarf, but you know, that's just me. I do like the claws on the arms. Kind of cool. Heck, even the drinking horn screams dwarf to me. Even though I know it's a northern Viking type girl. Orchthilian. That's what our friend Mary is here. So I do like the fact that we've got a very tough-looking female. Is she a tank? I know their classes are described on here somewhere. Yeah, she is a tank, because that's what the words say. That's not surprising. She also has more life than her plague-bearing friend. So despite a couple setbacks in terms of the model itself with the bendy sword, with the broken hand, and again, those not so much a detractor for the manufacturing of it. That's just more, you know, probably got banged around in shipping. I'm not going to worry about it because it's easily fixed on my end. But overall, very cool looking figures, and I really do like these big bases. It's kind of a new deal for me. I know there's been a couple forays into 75mm, 54mm skirmish games, but they never really seem to catch on. So I do like the fact that they tried doing this in a board game instead. So slowly but surely, I'm going to be putting up videos of some of the other character expansions. And I guess if there's enough demand for it, I'll stick up an unboxing of the actual game because, yeah, we know I'm not going to get to it anytime soon. Despite how much I love games like Gore Chosen. Gore Chosen is probably in my top 5. It's one of my go-to games when I want to get really loud and really drunk and yell and have other people tell us to shut up because we're having too much fun. So, with that said, I'm looking forward to painting these. I'm looking forward to trying the game because it looks quite tactical. And I hope this has at least been of some use to you. And if at the very least you're, checking this out, maybe you can go check out the game and, see what that's all about. With that said, this is High Lord Tamerlane with Obscurities and Miniatures saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.